All right, we are back with another Pick'em video. It is Wednesday, January 28th in the NBA. We have a beautiful 9-game slate today and a lot of really fun games to watch. So that's kind of music for my ears when I'm looking through the plays. I'm going to try to continue this run. We were on a 3-1 yesterday. We're now on a 34-15 run. We're up 15.8 units since January 14th. So let's get into the recap of what we did yesterday. Then we can start talking about the plays for today. And stay tuned for the later part of the video if you want to go through all the projected minutes, all the injury news and things like that, because I know a lot of people get extra information and I give my thoughts on most of the teams. So let's try to keep it rolling. Let's hop in the recap first. So we go up 1.82 units yesterday, 3-1 in the plays, and it was a lot of the same stuff. The winners are absolutely crushing their lines, typically in our wins, and then our losers are very, very close losers. Let's start with Isaiah Joe up here. He had 5 threes, so we took him at 2.1 or 2.5 for plus 100, by the way. So if you laddered that up, he had this very early in the game. Tobias Harris got his 19.5 PRA with points alone. He chipped in with 8 rebounds, had 22 points. Easy cash there. And then John Collins got over his 3-point line in the second quarter. So all no sweat bets for the winners. Tyrese Maxey does end with 3 rebounds. We got great CLV on this line. It was really a value line, a plus 118. I thought, hey, I think this should be around a minus 110 or plus 100 at the very most. And this ends up ending at like a minus 120 on the over. Books were favoring his over. And he ends with 3. So again, not the worst case scenario. I thought the read was there. A high scoring game, a lot of shots going up. He just couldn't get there. A lot of rebounds spread out throughout that team. So again, seeing the board extremely well over the last 2 weeks or so since January 14th. Again, I just calculated it all up. We're up 15.8 units, and over the last 49 picks, we've had 34 correct. So going to try to do this till the wheels fall off. You're not going to typically hit it at a 70% clip, but we're going to continue to try to do it. And again, seeing the board really well and loving the slate we got today. So let's hop in the first play of the video and keep things going. And totally forgot to mention this, but I actually gave out a pick on Twitter, which I don't always do, but maybe I'll start doing a daily Twitter play because I smacked that thing later in the day. I was like, oh my God, Bobby Portis's rebounds line's at 8.5. It was heavily juiced. I probably should have laddered it because he crushed this thing, but he is being heavily relied on without Giannis, especially in that rebounding spot, and was really liking it. So I posted on Twitter, and I'm going to count it as a win here. I don't know if I publicly post it, why not put it towards our record? So follow me on Twitter. Link in the description down below. Maybe I'll start doing daily, a daily Twitter post or pick of the day, which should be cool. Let me know what you guys think about that. But let's get into the plays for today. So jump into Props Madness like we always do to start talking about our plays. If you're watching this video and you're like, dang, I got to try this thing out, you can. There's a discount code using my link in the description down below. You get 25% off your first month, and it lets them know that I sent you there. So might as well check it out. So we'll start with Anthony Simons. He is the first play of the video. This is an under we attacked the other day. It's a minus 111 under 15.5 points. And this is not me saying Anthony Simons is going to have some bad game. This is just me looking at the entire year, looking at the last 20 games. This 15.5 mark, he gets a lot of games where he ends on 15. It's just a hit rate. It's a hit rate one. 5 of 20 games he's gone over this. This line just seems a little bit too high. Even if this was 14.5, I'm not as excited about it. But they got it at 15.5. It's minus 111 on the under. Again, probably playable 14.5. If it moves or anything like that, let me know in the comments. I'll give you my thoughts at that point in the day. But as of right now, we have a couple guys doubtful. The Kada is going to come out there, probably not play, which means Amari Williams is probably going to soak up some of his minutes. Luka Garza potentially won't play. But the main guys I'm looking at here is Jaylen Brown, is Derek White, and Peyton Pritchard. All these guys are projected to play in this thing. And with games without all these guys, again, last 20 games, only over this line in 4 of 20 games. Zooming out the entire season, only over in 27% of games. And how is he getting these points when he's going over this line? This explosion right here, shot 28 times. This game right here, 16 in 28 minutes. 27 minutes here, shot very efficiently, 56%. So the games he's shooting, ridiculous percent, 73% here, 63% here. This is a guard. Anthony Simons, not a guy that's going to be shooting typically 60% on the year, more like a 45% field goal percentage guy. So if we're not going to get, we can go in here again, see games that we're looking at Derek White, Brown, and Pritchard all available in this game. And we can see going to his stats, okay, his field goal percentage, if he's not going to shoot, let's say less than 50%, or let's even do it 55%. Now he's only over in 7 of 31 games. If he doesn't shoot better than 50%, only over in 20 games. And let's even give him, let's say 30 to 50%, still in the over in 27% of games. So I watch this team every night. Anthony Simons can get hot. If he makes his first few shots, he might be on his way to shooting a lot more times in that game. But this isn't some amazing matchup either. The Hawks don't have Trae Young anymore. They are a better defensive team because of that. Pick and roll ball handling, they rank 8th. Spot up, they rank 12th. Pull up, they rank 6th. Above the break threes, they're a mediocre team in terms of defending that. This floater game, which Anthony Simons loves to attack, they're pretty good at defending that, 5th and 9th ranked within these floater range shots. So they're a pretty good defensive team. They're a sizable team as well, and I think they match up pretty well against Anthony Simons. So again, I'm not saying Anthony Simons is going to have some crappy game. I'm really just saying this 15.5 line, especially at a minus 111 under price tag, just seems a little bit too high. Now, Anthony Simons could shoot 55%, 60%, knock down 5 threes or whatever it is, and then he crushes us, but much more likely, much more avenues for him to get to the under, I think, than the over. So first play of the video, Anthony Simons running him back on the under. Next play I'm really liking is going to be Karl-Anthony Towns to grab some rebounds against the Raptors. If you don't know, the Knicks and the Raptors really almost tied for that 3rd and 4th spot in the East. They're also chasing the Celtics in the East. So this is a big game for them in the standings, and they're finally starting to win games again. They've now won 3 straight, and they're kind of crushing teams the last few games. They just crushed the Kings. Now, I want to look at Mitchell Robinson because with Mitchell Robinson, Towns has hit this line in 60% of games. Without Mitchell Robinson, Towns has hit this line in 91% of games so far this year. This is a back-to-back set. Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns split minutes against the Kings, mainly because Mitchell Robinson was playing pretty good, Towns was not shooting very good, but also because this was a blowout situation. So Towns got a little bit less minutes, 27 minutes. Mitchell Robinson got more minutes than he typically does, 27 minutes. And Robinson, not typically a guy that plays in back-to-back situations. Going over to RotoWire, you can see that he's expected, no one on the injury report as of right now, but this is something I'm like, hey, Mitchell Robinson doesn't typically play back-to-backs. He played a lot of minutes yesterday. Maybe he goes out there and plays, but even if he does, I don't know if they're going to run him a whole bunch of time. So I'm kind of thinking like, hey, maybe I'll get in front of this. Is Mitchell Robinson maybe not going to play in this game? That's kind of the angle here. But again, even if Mitchell Robinson does play, Towns is still over in 60% of games with Mitchell Robinson in the lineup. Now, he's played these guys twice already, 16 rebounds once, 8 rebounds in the other. They won both these games pretty handily. This is a 2-point spread, and Towns should be clocking a decent amount of run. Again, only 27 minutes in that game last game. And in back-to-back situations, they don't mind running Towns. And he's a really good rebounder for some reason. I don't know why, but really, really good rebounder with the games he's playing back-to-backs. 31 minutes here, 20 boards against the Warriors, 18 against the Hornets, 12 against the Magic, and 13 against the Wizards. Is this a great rebounding matchup? Not the most amazing rebounding matchup in the world. They rank 12th in terms of rebounds allowed. But you go to the Raptors side of things, they don't have Jakob Poeltl in this one. Murray Boyle's question mark. Sandro Mamukelashvili, not the most amazing rebounding center in the league. They got Scotty, he'll chase some boards. They got RJ, they got Brandon Ingram. Some bigger guards, I guess, or bigger forwards, I guess you could say. But Towns definitely going to be the biggest guy in the court, especially with no Poeltl out there, and potentially no Murray Boyle. So I think this is a smash stop for Karl-Anthony Towns. Again, maybe I'm in front of the injury news, and maybe Mitchell Robinson doesn't play. But again, even if he does play, I think Towns, because of less minutes, because of how many minutes Mitchell Robinson played yesterday, I think we're going to get a lot of run from Towns, and I think it is a really good smash spot for his rebounds that he already hits at a pretty good clip here. So it's expecting to be a closer game. I honestly would lean the Knicks in terms of the spread. They're 2-point underdogs in an away game here, but the Knicks have started to click again. They had a little bit of a skid, but sometimes that happens in January. It's actually very historic that good teams sometimes skid in January. They look like they're back on track. Towns is a very good rebounder. As you can see, crushes this line a whole lot. And 10.5 seems too low, especially at a minus 112 price tag. So that's my thoughts on Towns as a second play. Third play I want to run through here is going to be Ayo Dosunmu to knock down some threes. Obviously, the hit rate on this line already looks really good, 65% of games on the entire year. He's over this. Minus 102 price tag, by the way. 70% of games the last 20, but there's been some injuries. So let's be totally honest here. With Giddey in the lineup, with Kobe White in the lineup, we're only at about a 53% hit rate. But we got some other injuries to talk about. Trey Jones is not going to be in this game, and Zach Collins is not going to be in this game. We've only seen 4 games with this, but he's gone over in all 4 of those games, shooting 5 or 6 threes in most of them, but he can also just shoot a very good percentage. And he's kind of like one of those guys that I like to attack in bad matchups, which is funny to say, but above the break threes, catch and shoot, this Indiana team does not allow a whole bunch of these, but a guy like Ayo Dosunmu seems to be able to get those open looks for him specifically. They lock down on very good three-point shooters, but either Ayo likes the hand in his face when he shoots the ball. Again, I've talked about this with the guys like Duncan Robinson. I was one of those players when I played basketball. I almost needed pressure to get my normal shot up and shoot like almost a better percentage, weird enough to say. And I would assume it does seem like one of those guys. We will break down the filters of this, but really I'm looking at these games because I can see how many minutes he played in these games, and it's very consistent. 25 minutes here, 23 minutes here, 23 minutes here, and 26 minutes here. So that can let me see that, hey, expected minutes, RotoWire is saying 20 to 30 minutes. That's great, 65% hit rate. But really in those 4 games that, we've had these exact injuries, we've seen 22 to 26 minutes. And he's over this in 69% of those games. Now, the next thing I want to look at is, okay, now we got a 13 game sample size. This is not a great matchup to go over your 3-point line. Spot up, catch and shoot, above the break threes. This Pacers team runs you off the 3-point line. But in the 4 matchups we've seen, let's even just say 3-pointers allowed, challenging matchups, he's still over this in 3 of 4 games. Now, again, he doesn't shoot a whole bunch. Typically, when I'm going to a guy's 3-point line, I want him to shoot 10 threes in that game. We did that to Grayson Allen a few days ago. We're really just tacked, hey, this is a volume play. For I would assume this is not a volume play. He's a very particular 3-point shooter. He doesn't jack up a whole bunch of threes very often. Again, 1 of 2 in this game, 2 of 5 here, 3 of 4 here, and 2 of 4 here. We're really honestly looking for about 5, maybe 6 threes. And I think in 5 or 6 threes, he's a good enough 3-point shooter to get there for us. Now, again, he's been hitting this very consistently. The 3-pointers attempted have been there. He's been one of the more consistent players in their lineup. He is one of those guys that the Bulls might think about trading. So a guy you want to shine coming with the trade deadline approaching pretty quickly. And he's played these guys already this season, and he had 3 threes in that game. And again, shot 3 of 6. So I don't think this is going to be a spot that I'm expecting Ayo Dosunmu to shoot 10 threes. I don't even think he shot 10 threes the entire season. Last 20 games, the max he's had is 8. But he does shoot a very good percentage. And in these kind of matchups, you're shooting the ones that you're wide open on. They don't give up no catch and shoot. They give up not many. They don't give up as many as other teams. But when they do, you want him to be wide open, and he's going to hit that. And or in turn, he hits, he takes and makes hard shots like a Duncan Robinson, which we've been on before too. But long story short, we need 2 threes from a guy that shoots 45% from 3. Minus 102 price tag. I don't mind it. On paper, it looks like a challenging matchup, but we've looked at these challenging matchups in the entire season. He's still over this in 64% of games. We looked at the injuries. We looked at the games he's played with these exact injuries, with Kobe White, with Josh Giddey, without Zach Collins, without Trey Jones. He's going to get around 23 to 26 minutes. And if he's playing a lot better, he can get more time than that. I expect a very low floor of, or a high floor of 20 minutes. That's being conservative too. I don't think he's going to get 20 minutes. I think the floor is more like 23, but he should get the time in the court. And then lastly, I think he's going to shoot at the very least 4 and probably the highest 6 3-pointers in this matchup. And we can see that too in terms of the hit rates, 3-pointers attempted. This is a 45% 3-point shooter. If he's going to shoot 4 to 8, we're looking at an amazing 92% hit rate. If he's going to shoot 4 to 6, which is kind of what I'm looking at, 92% hit rate. So again, we're not expecting him to shoot 10 threes, but he's an efficient shooter. This is a matchup that you shoot open threes when they're available because they don't give up a lot of them. And I'd assume who can burn you when you leave them open. So it's not going to get too many chances. That's not going to be everyone's favorite thing in the world. And that's why I'm taking so long to go through this one. But again, 4 to 6 3-pointers, that's all he needs to hit this thing at 92%. So minus 102 on the over 1.5. I'm liking our chances. So that's what I'm liking on the board right now. But obviously this video is coming out a different time than I usually upload. I'm trying to get back in the algorithm. It's not liking me right now like it used to. So if you could go ahead and leave the video a like, comment something down below, it would be great. And if this video gets to 100 likes, I'll go ahead and add more plays in the pinned comment down below, because I really do think I'm going to like this slate overall. But I'm not getting the projected minutes just yet on RotoWire. They don't drop till like 3 a.m. and I don't really want to stay up till that. And I'm not knowing the full gist of the injury news because there's a couple teams on a back-to-back. So because of that, I'm also not going to go over the entire slate because I don't honestly know at 2 a.m., who's going to be injured and who the projected minutes and everything like that. So yeah, do me a favor, try to get me back into the algorithm because I know I make pretty good videos. I know I make pretty good plays. And I know a lot of people that are watching these do appreciate it. And I want YouTube to just push my videos out. As of right now, 98% of viewers are subscribed to me. So I'm not even getting a chance to those other viewers out there. So if you're new today, hello, welcome. And, stick around because we've been killing it. And I think I'm one of the better ones out there. I'm not a scammer or anything like that. I know a lot of people lie in this platform, very transparent. And again, you'll see hopefully some good comments that can vouch for me. But these are the 3 plays as of right now I'm liking. Anthony Simons under 15.5 points, -111 on DraftKings. Do I think Simons is going to have a horrible game? No. I just think this line is too high for what I've seen from him the past few games. The minutes projections, Jaylen Brown, Pritchard, those guys are going to be active. Derek White should be active. And Simons probably not going to get 30 plus minutes in this thing. Karl-Anthony Towns, now this is one that I'm kind of projecting. I do think Mitchell Robinson potentially sits this game. He played a whole lot of minutes yesterday. This is a back-to-back, and Towns crushes his line on back-to-backs for rebounds, typically because Mitchell Robinson doesn't play. But even if Mitchell Robinson does play, I like this spot for Towns to gobble up some boards. And then Ayo Dosunmu, that was the last play we just talked about, 1.5 3-pointers made. Really good price tag. Doesn't have to shoot a whole bunch of them to make 2 threes. Very good 3-point shooter in a difficult matchup to knock down threes. But again, they're going to give up some 3-pointers. They don't limit every 3-pointer out there. And I would assume he knows when to pick and choose his shots. So that will do it for me. Going to try to continue to see the board as best we can. And we've been crushing it since January 14th, up 15.8 units, like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing. And before we go, want to mention a few shout outs. First of all, to Pickett. If you're not on Pickett, it is a free bet tracker. It lets you know if you're winning, if you're losing, and it syncs right to your sports book. So if you're on DraftKings, if you're on FanDuel, if you're on PrizePicks, if you're on Underdog, you just go in there and you sync your sports book, and it's going to tell you how you're doing that day, week, year, all time, whatever it might be. So go and use Pickett, code RichPicks when you sign up. There's a link in the description down below. And when you sign up, again, free app to use. You get $3 or $100 just by signing up using my code RichPicks and syncing your first sports book. So absolute no-brainer there. And then if you want access to all my plays, check out the Discord community. That is also linked in the description of this video. That's where you got access to all my plays, all my actual slips. You get the YouTube picks early because I post them there first before I upload. And that's it. Pickett and my Discord community. Those will be the 2 shout outs today. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you are new around here, think about subscribing, sticking around. We do this every single day. We have been dominating the NBA, especially for the past 2 weeks, seeing the board extremely well. And I've been on YouTube for about 2 years now. If you've never seen me before, and I have a pretty good track record overall. Might as well just flex a little bit as I have Pickett already pulled up. Almost 400 units of profit in 2025 was absolutely nuts. I don't know if I'll ever do that well again. But again, NBA is my bread and butter. As you can see, it's my most profitable sport overall. I do like to mix sports. I do like to do PrizePicks and Underdog and Betr. That's just where I came from. But I also do straight picks, and I share those in my Discord community. So that's enough flexing, and that's enough for this video. I know I bambled a lot in this thing, but again, it's a little frustrating. The amount of work I put into these, someone that used to get a whole bunch of views on videos, just not getting pushed into the algorithm. So again, everyone that's watching right now, greatly, greatly appreciated. We gave out $100 yesterday. We've done a $25 giveaway recently. I want to give back more to you guys, especially the ones that have been here through the lower view, month of January, essentially. But I know we'll be back. And we'll be getting a whole lot of traction. And with that, hopefully the community just grows, and we'll see more comments, more people helping out each other, more people joining my Discord community, where I try to teach you to actually be a profitable, smart sports bettor rather than throwing your money away on like gut plays or instinct plays. You want to be betting with a reason and a purpose, and there's a lot of analysis and math that goes into sports betting. So that's it. That's my rant. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my God, this guy's got a sob fest going for this entire video, but I am really pumped about the plays I have today. And again, I'll show them one more time before I get out of here. Anthony Simons, Karl-Anthony Towns, Ayo Dosunmu. We got 2 overs and an under, and that's what we're rocking with. So really good slate. Again, get this video to 100 likes would be great, and I'll add some more plays in the pinned comment. Check out Twitter. I posted that play yesterday on Bobby Portis. That thing smacked. Maybe I'll do a post over there. So just one more free pick for you guys to get into, and that will do it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching like always. Good luck with all your bets. Peace out.